He was asked about the death penalty, by the way, and he said they haven't made a decision yet. And we were expecting to see Reiner in court this morning. We were all there, downtown Los Angeles, and for him to just not be there, and even his lawyer was there, so I think the lawyer even thought he was going to be there. That was kind of a shock, so we'll see how that plays out. But in terms of the special allegation, no surprise there. This really comes into play when a dangerous weapon is used. This can help beef up penalties at sentencing. It's something that they can add on to the charges. The DA spoke about it when he had his news conference. Listen to this, Ash.
One of these special allegations is that the murder was committed with a deadly weapon or a knife. As to where and how the weapon was located or will be located, that will actually be evidence we'll present in court.
And we asked him, you know, is there going to be a court hearing tomorrow? I mean, look, they plan to file these charges there, but he has to be in court for these charges to actually go through, and they couldn't really answer that question. The lawyer seems to think, Alan Jackson seems to think that they're going to be in court tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see if he's medically cleared. You said it, that's the term that they used.
Yeah, and that could be so many things, right? It could be mentally ill, it could be drug influence. And let me ask you about the drug issue, because it's no secret that Nick suffered from drug abuse in the past and has been homeless, etc. So do we know if he was under the influence when the police arrested him? And tell me a little bit about what the folks at the hotel noticed.
Well, the police chief did say, and they were very careful what they said, but this was something new. He said that they arrested him without incident. He didn't try to run. There was no fight. Basically, he turned himself in when they tracked him down near University of Southern California. So that was something new. In terms of the hotel, it's called the Pierside Hotel in Santa Monica. I went over there today. It's right on the ocean there. And that is the room that we are told that he rented for one night. He used his own credit card. And we don't know the exact timeline, but it seems that he may have gone back to that room after allegedly murdering his parents. I spoke again today with Maureen O'Connell, who is a retired FBI agent who also lives in the neighborhood and was here right after the stabbing happened. Listen to what she had to say about this.
He went to take a shower. He had to get out of Dodge. He wasn't going to stay here. But it also shows that he was aware of what he did. It also shows that he's cognizant that what he did was wrong, and he needed to create distance between him and the crime. So he goes to a nearby hotel. He gets in the hotel. He wants to take a shower. He looks in the mirror. He's a mess. And all that blood evidence is going to be fantastic, and it's going to be great for the prosecution, I would say, because that blood evidence likely will be his blood as well as the blood of his parents.
And according to reports, Ashley, there was a lot of blood found in that hotel room, not necessarily on him, but in the room itself.
And then, of course, I just want to say, like, Maureen O'Connell's the best of the best, but I've just got to say he is innocent until proven guilty. These things didn't definitely happen. They allegedly happened. The blood was allegedly found. He allegedly went to that hotel room. So we just want to be careful before he has his day in court. And speaking of that, Alan Jackson, oh, my God, I did not expect. Although Alan's from L.A., I didn't expect to see him showing up in this case. He came to the house where you are today. Did you get a chance to talk to him?
Well, we tried. We tried outside court, and he spoke a little bit outside court this morning, basically talking about the medically cleared issue. But this is our video from outside the house today, outside the Reiner's house today. And no, he did not talk. We weren't expecting him to see him here this afternoon after seeing him in court. He basically showed up and then had his team with him, and they went into the house. It was the first time I'd seen the gates open since we got here yesterday. He was inside for maybe 20, 30 minutes. We don't know why. Maybe he just wanted to see the murder scene. And then he came out and the gates closed and off he went.
Which is weird. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, wait a second, his client is the defendant and this is the murder scene, but it's also Nick's home. It's where Nick was living. So technically what you're seeing is Nick has apparently allowed his lawyer to go into his own home that he shared with the murder victims. I know that's all very, very sort of flummoxing to see that. But, you know, presumably the police have done everything. They have done the full investigation. It's not a crime scene anymore. It's been released. So that can't, you know, hurt the scene at all or the investigation. Real quickly, how can Nick afford Alan Jackson? Nick is not worth hundreds of millions, but his parents were.
Yeah, and he's a very, very expensive attorney. That was sort of the word on the street here today. How's he going to get the money? Look, I'm told there may be a family trust.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.